Good evening, live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Here is 7 o'clock news bulletin, but first the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham greets the presidents of Somalia, Burundi, Rwanda and the Governor General of Canada on their country's National Day. The Supreme Committee on COVID-19 decides to maintain the lockdown of the Governorate of Dhofar and the Wilaya of Masira until 17th of July and continue with the facilities to support the private sector and its manpower until the end of September. And 1,010 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 are recorded and 1,003 cases are recovered. Good evening once again, and thank you for joining us. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Mohammed Abdullah Farmajo of Somalia on his country's National Day. His Majesty the Sultan sent a cable of greetings to Her Excellency Julie Payette, Governor General of Canada, on her country's National Day. His Majesty sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Evariste Ndayishimiye of Burundi on his country's National Day. And His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Paul Kagame of Rwanda on his country's National Day. COVID-19 Supreme Committee held a meeting there this morning to review the latest updates on the coronavirus development, preventive measures and means to curb its spread and deal with its various impacts. The meeting, which was held in the Ministry of Interior main office, was chaired by His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, and attended by all members of the committee. The committee reviewed the epidemiological statistics with respect to tourism sites that was closed down in light of the preventive measures to minimize the spread of the virus and decide to maintain the lockdown of the Dhofar Governorate and the Wilaya of Masira until Friday 17th July 2020. It also decided to continue with the facilities to support the private sector and its manpower, which was revealed in April 2020 until the end of September 2020. The committee followed with great concern the epidemiological statistics on COVID-19 that indicated a high infection rate, especially among citizens, and the increase in the number of cases in intensive care units and wards, and in addition to the high mortality rate. Further inquiries indicated that some people still do not adhere to the preventive measures. The committee cautions everyone to maintain physical distance, wear masks regularly, wash hands from time to time, and observe the rest of the preventive measures. The committee calls upon everyone to bear their individual and social responsibility to protect themselves, their families, and the community from the spread of the pandemic. The committee calls upon all institutions in the private and public sectors to provide an environment suitable for physical distancing, monitor their staff and beneficiaries' adherence to the preventive measures, and locate violators to take legal action approved by the committee against them. The Ministry of Health announced 1,010 new confirmed cases of COVID-19, which brings the total number registered in the Sultanate to 40,070 cases, including 176 deaths. The Ministry of Health also reported 1,003 cases of recoveries, which made the total to 23,425. Back to work is a step of hope for the best to come. Here are the instructions that will protect you from coronavirus. Wear masks while leaving your house by following proper procedures. Keep a physical distance of at least 2 meters away from others. Follow the main hygienic procedures of washing or sanitizing hands from time to time. Avoid using elevators as much as possible, and if you have to use it, ensure less number of people to guarantee physical distance from one another. Gatherings at entrances, waiting rooms, offices, meeting halls and prayer places are forbidden. If you have any symptoms of the disease, immediately contact the bodies concerned specified by the Ministry of Health. By adhering to these instructions, it will assist you in preventing from contracting the COVID-19. Stay safe. Still to come in our news bulletin here in the Sultanate of Oman television, the wilaya of Manah in the governorate of Dakhiliya is in the middle of the harvest season of Al-Mabsali. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, said the coronavirus pandemic was deepening threats to peace and curbing freedom of speech, sunlight out countries such as Russia and China for targeting critics of their response. Bachelet was speaking at the opening of the 44th sessions of the United Nations Human Rights Council in Geneva, focused not only on the global human rights situation, but also on the impact of the COVID-19 outbreak. Bachelet added that she was concerned by restrictions on freedom of expression, association, peacefully assembly, including with respect to online discussions of the spread of COVID-19, as well as crackdowns on civil society with asset freezes, intimidation and arrests. The United Nations Human Rights Chief also said COVID-19 was adding to the plight of people in areas of conflict where health systems had already been compromised. United Kingdom Prime Minister Boris Johnson today addressed a local lockdown of the city of Leicester and its surrounding areas after a rise in new coronavirus cases. Johnson said that the government was in constant communications with the authorities in Leicester, but also monitoring it nationally, and said they would take steps to ease the local lockdown when the data changes and the situation improves. He warned ahead of 4th July lockdown easing measures that the virus was out there, still circling like a shark in the water. Johnson also reiterated his plan to recruit 20,000 police officers and end the lunacy that stops them, for instance, deporting some violent offenders. The Prime Minister also said if the UK is to cover or to recover from the new coronavirus crisis, the country must address the problems that have not been tackled and make investments.
And that we would deal with them locally. And that's what
India has banned dozens of Chinese apps amid a military standoff between the two countries. India protesters have been calling for a boycott of Chinese goods since the June 15th confrontation in the remote Karakoram mountain border region. Yesterday, the government said that it was banning 59 Chinese-owned apps, including TikTok, which is operated by Chinese internet firm ByteDance. It cited privacy concerns that pose a threat to India's sovereignty and security. India is one of TikTok's largest markets. By April, 30% of TikTok's 2 billion downloads were from India. China's foreign ministry said China was very concerned about the Indian move and seeking more information. There are risks of India and broader boycott could backfire if China were to retaliate by banning exports of raw materials used by India's pharmaceutical industry. A summer heat wave across Russia has spread the area of forest fires by more than half over the past day, with the far east region of Kamchatka experiencing at least 50 fires. Kamchatka acting Governor Vladimir Slodov said the fire is gradually being contained, but at the same time, new hotspots are emerging. At least 1,300 square kilometers are currently on fire in Kamchatka, which observers say is unprecedented for this time of the year. Emergency services from nearby regions have been summoned to help quell the spread of the flames. Once again, back here in the Sultanate, the Minister of Tourism issued precautionary measures from coronavirus COVID-19 guidance at travel and tourism agencies. The guidance included a number of precautionary measures which should be followed by the owners of these agencies and trip organizers, in addition to tourism transport activities, tourist guide and touristic groups, in order to achieve balance between normal life round and continuation of precautionary measures. The precautionary measures included, before arrival of the tourist, requesting medical certificate and online booking, to avoid any usage of paper documents and ensure the health insurance for all tourists before completion of booking process. It also advised to organize trips at small groups of not more than 15 persons in order to ease application of social distancing. The overall number of small and medium enterprises registered in Riyadh by the end of May 2020 reached 44,197 establishments, as per the initial data released by the National Center for Statistics and Information. By the end of May 2020, SMEs in Muscat governorates grew to 14,897 establishments from 13,069 establishments by the end of May 2019. Governorate of North Al-Batna ranked second in the number of small and medium enterprises, with a total of 6,983 establishments compared to 6,182 establishments in 2019. The seventh regular meeting for Technical Committee concerned of interim mechanisms for urban planning reviewed 89 technical and planning topics for the governorates of Musandam and North Al-Sharqiyya. The meeting reviewed 84 topics in the governorate of North Al-Sharqiyya as they approved 4 housing issues and private residential complex and 23 commercial topics and private investment projects, in addition to 19 planning schemes for various uses. The meeting also discussed 5 topics in the governorate of Musandam and approved to 1 private housing topic and 3 commercial and investment projects, where the rest of the topics forwarded for restudy as they not meet the approved standards of the interim mechanism for urban planning. Oman oil price August delivery reached today $42.11 per barrel, increasing by $1.13 compared to yesterday's price. The average price of Oman oil July delivery reached $33.68 per barrel. A number of governorates of the Sultanate are witnessing during this time of the year the harvest season of a special type of date palm trees called Mabsili. The following report sheds light on all season in the Wilaya of Manah in a Dakhliya governorate.
At this time of the year, the harvest and tabsil season begin in a Dakhliya governorate and in a number of other governorates around the Sultanate. The word tabsil refers to the process of cooking the yellow dates of a special type of date palm trees called al-mabsili.
In the Wilaya of Manah, we use al-mabsili date palm trees for tabsil, but in the other wilayas, they use other types. Praise be to Allah, we have a big number of this type. more than 80 palm trees. My children are the sixth generation to maintain this craft.
All family members participate in al-tabsil custom, which they have inherited from their grandfathers. They begin by collecting al-bisr, the yellow dates. Next, they take the yellow dates to the cooking structures, locally known turkuba, which is a concrete structure with big copper boiling pots. Al-bisr is then put into these pots to be well boiled until it reaches the required state called al-faghur.
In the past, our fathers, they used busur in selling and exporting it. But nowadays, we use it in many productions, like we use it as alternative of white sugar and in many sweets and biscuits.
Al-faghur is then moved to an open area called al-mustah, and it is left there for days to sun dry. Finally, the dry dates are cleaned and packed in bags or boxes to be sold locally or exported. At-tabsil remains a traditional practice that is preserved by the Omani people over the years due to the nutritional value of this crop and its economic returns. صالح بخلفان الرحبي ولاية of منح الداخلية Governorate.
This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham greets the presidents of Somalia, Burundi, Rwanda and the Governor-General of Canada on their country's National Day. The Supreme Committee on COVID-19 decides to maintain the lockdown of the Governorate of Dhofar and the Wilaya of Masira until 17th of July to continue with the facilities to support the private sector and its manpower until the end of September. And 1,010 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 are recorded and 1,003 cases are recovered. And with that, we do conclude this news bulletin brought to you live from this news center of the Sultanate of Oman television. Thank you for joining us and good night.
دي سيارة لا تحتاج سائق ولا أي شيء، دي تمشي بنفسها.
غلط. ايش هذا؟
قانون الجنائي. أعوذ بالله من الجنائي والجنائيات وهذه الأشياء.
ليه تعتبر نفسك
فنان؟
ما بغيت أسوق أولادي يطلع عندي مشكلة. أي مريضة وديني المستشفى.
يا أبو منزل يا أبو منزل.
أبوي هلكتني ما أبو منزل، أبو منازل هلكتني. ماذا عصرية أنتم؟ أنت غم كده طالع لأمك. الله يقطعكم قطع إن شاء الله. ما تعرف إن هذا أبو منازل إنهم بيسووا مصنع ذهب؟ ذهب. إيه ما أنا وأنت بقى فاكر ذمني. كم الدولار؟ شو هذه 4000 عن شهرين بس؟ حلال حلال؟
طبعا حلال يا ابو حلال حلال عليك.
ابو منازل ما يتنازل.